our largest exhibit here in the Aquarium of the Pacific. It has over 350,000 gallons of water, over 2,000 individual fish, and they represent over 200 different species.
I know we do have a reptile in that water as well.
They do. We have a turtle. All over the turtle around somewhere. Wild species out of the water really point out our Greenland grouper. It's a little unusual for it to be right up front like this. This is potentially the largest fish in this exhibit. Right now, I think he's trumped by some of the zebra sharks. But this fish can get over 9 feet long and 900 pounds. That's a pretty impressive sized fish. The one we have here right now is not quite that big yet. Probably 200 or 300 pounds right now. This fish does tend to live a long time, like their distant cousins, some giant sea bass, which are visible in the blue cabin exhibit in the main hall. The Queensland groupers here can live on the order of 70 years for their lifespan.
And that was a rare sighting there of our Queensland grouper guys. If you missed that, you could swim right in front of the glass. I haven't seen them do that before.
Most of the time they like to hang out near the bottom. We do actually have a juvenile Queensland grouper that used to hang out underneath that tabletop coral there. I don't see him right now, but we do have another one in here though. One day maybe get to that size.
So I've got to ask, what are you guys doing in there right now? It looks like pretty active in there.
Right, well, so this is actually a sort of half feeding period. By that I mean, normally this time of day in this exhibit, we do a full feed. We feed all these animals, the golden trevally, the crescent snappers, the rays, both the southern stingrays and the Canada rays. However, it was determined that some of the fish in this exhibit were getting overfed, and it is possible to just overfeed fish. They'll just eat, so it's not good for them. Unlike humans, of course. Anyway, so what it was determined that this exhibit needs to go on a diet. So instead, we did a little bit of a salad bar in this exhibit at this time. So my dive buddies, Aaron up there, and Sarah, who's elsewhere in the exhibit, kind of just placed little heads of romaine lettuce in different patches of coral. Aaron's also got a bottle with what's called freshwater bloodworms, which are just about as disgusting as they sound. And so the carnivorous fish, especially the smaller ones, like these little bloodworms that he's burning on in that water bottle. And the herbivores, or the plant-eating fish, like the lettuce. And I see that all of these turtles just showed up behind me here. We can talk about him.
If you look right behind our diver here, we see our olive grizzly sea turtle.
That's right. So, all species of sea turtle are at least considered threatened, not endangered. Most are endangered. Olive grizzly is probably the least threatened of those, but they are still classified as threatened. Mainly due to pollution, humans catching them accidentally when they're fishing for fish, and so forth. They're beautiful animals. They are, of course, reptiles, not amphibians, which means that they have lungs and they must breathe air. So he comes up to the surface every now and then to get a gulp of air. But they have the ability to stay underwater for over an hour. So it's a pretty impressive.
So there is another threatened animal in this habitat, but we'll get back to that. Now, I want to go back to our guy that's right in front of the glass here. I see he's got, looks like lettuce. I think that's vegetarian.
Well, some of the fish in here are indeed vegetarians, or what we call herbivores. And, we feed them romaine lettuce and broccoli, just like they get in the ocean. Okay, well, wait a second. It's probably not broccoli or romaine lettuce growing in the ocean. But these particular foods are very easy for us to get, and they really do approximate the nutrition that these fish would get eating the algae that they would find in the open ocean.
And it looks like he's doing a scatter feed. Is that a type of feed we do? Or?
Absolutely. So there's a couple different ways to feed the fish in an exhibit of this size. You can imagine that as we're at home, you probably throw in the food at the surface and let the fish pour it out and get the flesh. Well, if we did that here, only the most aggressive fish would get anything to eat in this exhibit. That's why we don't golden trevally, those yellow-tailed fish. wall. Instead, we use something called target scatter feeding. Target feeding is when we come in with a particular bucket of food and feed it to a particular species of fish, to the exclusion of others. Scatter feeding is when we sort of swim throughout the exhibit, feeding material in various directions, sort of spread it out so the most number of fish can get access to it.